Good morning. Welcome back to Daybreak on this 22nd day of February 2022. And I want to introduce the panelists here in studio. Mauka More is the Member of Parliament for Igembe North Constituency. He's also the Deputy Majority Whip at the National Assembly. Good morning. Honorable Wilson Sisson is nominated MP of ODM Party. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have Dr. Chris Omalwa, Member of Parliament for Community. Good morning.
Morning.
And Robert Mbu is the Member of Parliament for Kathiani constituency in Machakos County. Good morning.
Morning, Sam.
Great, and there's so much going on the papers, and we'll be talking about them at different intervals. We want to begin by looking at what is on the Standard, which is Sagana talks turning point for Raila and Ruto. If President reveals what caused fallout with his deputy, he could swing large part of Mount Kenya to shift alliances, especially if he signals revival of his party. Tomorrow's meeting is critical, coming just days before Jubilee and ODM delegate conferences expected to endorse Raila for State House. You'll see the story continue on page 6. As you'll see, the president has taken a different approach from Kibaki, openly declaring his preference in his succession battle come August. Then Ruto has been wooing Mount Kenya region, but a revamped Jubilee party will complicate the math in the presidential race, or will it? And then there's a quote here of Kenyatta, the senator of Murang'a, saying, "We welcome the president to the region. We shall listen and give him audience. And since he will not be on the ballot, UDA is preparing for an epic duel with Raila Odinga." That's what they're saying, but so much more covered in there. And I want us to begin by listening to the leaders that have been speaking about this meeting. They held different meetings yesterday at in Kirinyaga and Nyandarua counties, speaking of what they're expecting from the president. Can you listen to that?
Watu hawa ni werevu sana. Wakienda pahali supporters wa Uhuru wako, hawatukani yeye. Wanasema, oh, tumejenga hii, oh, tumetenga hii, oh, tunafanya kazi na rais. Wakitoka hapo, wanaenda wanamtukana. Musikubali Rais Uhuru atukanwe.
Sisi kupitia mlango wa Azimio, tunataka yale ambayo Uhuru alikuwa ameanzisha iendelee mbele, tuhakikishia kwamba watu wetu na watoto wetu hawapati na janga la kukosa school fees, janga la kukosa maji, mambo ya barabara ambazo haziishi.
Mkutano ya Sagana 3 ni baadhi ya mikutano ambayo rais anakutana viongozi kutoka maeneo mbalimbali, sio Mount Kenya peke yake, na ni katika kuangalia zile specific issues za region na pia kuelezea kazi amewafanyia as a region na anawaacha vipi as a region.
He says that he's coming to explain Anawacha VP as a region. How about Mauka More? You are from the Jubilee Party, and I've seen some activity that you've been engaged in your constituency. So who is invited to this meeting, and do you know the specific agenda?
Well, I think what happened is a build-up of Sagana 2, whereby when we met that time, we were trying to drum up support for the BBI, whose interests, mainly for our Mount Kenya region, were very much in it. And unfortunately, the BBI didn't go our way. It is still hanging in the air. We're awaiting the Supreme Court decision on which direction to go. And the issue that was involved in BBI was that we wanted the one man, one shilling, one vote weight to be reflected. We wanted equal representation, which isn't the place as of now. And the issue of also enhancing money to the grassroots. Now, while this is Sagana 3, it's coming in the light of the loss. And our main agenda will be mainly to drum up support for the likely revival of the BBI. And we know the enemy of the region who didn't want the BBI to go through. So one agenda is to mobilize support for those who will help and see us as a community or as a region in a fair manner. Second, to also galvanize enough political will against those who are enemies of the region when it came to those interests. Now, the third part, where you would say that with the exit of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the region is going to be having no presidential candidate as of now. There hasn't come out. I'm sure you will agree with me. It is a deliberate move. When you have no prominent candidate from a region, you have to know how your interests will be covered. So generally, the Sagana 3 is calling delegates from 10 counties, not from the rest of the country. Now, those delegates are the ones who are likely to listen and resist the insurgency, the incitement, and the confusion created by the deputy president in the last, let's say, 7-8 years, whereby he has been there almost every Sunday. You can see the rallies he did over the weekend. He never went to any centers because he knew there's a problem in the centers, like Mawa. It was quite chaotic. Then he goes to the rural areas. So that kind of insurgency or incitement, where nobody has been going to his regions for those kind of things, but he wants now to be the kingpin. So we want to go and denounce him as a danger to the region, not a kingpin and not a leader from for our region.
A danger to the region?
No, he's a danger in every way, because when you see somebody fighting your leader, that's a danger to you. Because he was supposed to have supported the president until they finish. He was supposed to be his principal assistant. He was supposed to be his friend if he wanted that region. But for him, he thought he can come behind, go to the region, and announce himself the kingpin. So those are the things.
That's quite an agenda. And you said that you're going to go against what the deputy president has been doing the past 7-8 years.
Yes.
Do you have sufficient time? It's just about 5 months.
I can assure you, those who know about how the region votes are in for a rule show, who don't know. They actually do it in 72 hours. They will tell you how they are with you. Just look at what happened in 97. Those who are mature enough with the K-Twin governor. Everybody thought she was taking. And when the votes were counted that evening, she didn't have any vote. But there were quite a lot of MPs who sneaked out on the same party. So it's going to be a surprise for very many people. Yes.
Honorable Sossion, what do you think of this agenda for a region that is coming together? He says the 10 counties, I believe those are the 10 counties, Mount Kenya region, whether it's Central Kenya, Upper Eastern, or Nakuru and Laikipia, which are in Rift Valley. Is that correct, Honorable Maure?
Yes.
Yeah, so what do you make of this meeting?
Yeah, I think it is a futile attempt by the president, who is the head of state and who is supposed to be a symbol of national unity, to reduce himself to an ethnic cocoon and to advance an agenda of fighting his own deputy. That fundamentalism, and that's how it should be seen, simplistically. We've had, he's going to be declared as, the deputy president is going to be declared as an enemy of the mountain. And this actually, if Kenyans were not very peaceful, then this type of activity from a head of state and head of government would be recipe for chaos. But from what it is and from experience, it is a hopeless meeting. It's not going to make any change. The Mount Kenya people have evolved politically outside what some people are still living in, thinking you can herd them into some ethnic marshalling and direct them to a certain political direction. We have seen the Mount Kenya people are liberal and free and are listening to every other political view in this country. And the Mount Kenya people have not seen any mistake on the side of the deputy president. And therefore, the differences that the president and his deputy have had over time, which of course originates from the president himself, because he's pushing a contradicting desire within his own government against his own deputy, when the public, Mount Kenya already are aware of the political happenings within the top echelons of government. And to me, I will call it a very inconsequential meeting and unnecessary meeting that is meant to fuel ethnic hatred and an agenda pushed by the president. And so it's fundamentally wrong for the president to do that. And the good thing is, it will fail. It is inconsequential. Already, Mount Kenya has decided, they say they are free and they are comfortable with the deputy president, and they've made it very clear time and again. And the wishful thinking of how it happened in 1997 is different from 2022. The elections have changed. We already have Vision 2030. People have been customized, and to Vision 2030, we are already driving politics of issues in the country. Mount Kenya people are rethink from serious economic suffering, high cost of prices for goods, collapsing agriculture, and therefore...
Just hold on.
No. Mount Kenya is not a colony. Mount Kenya is part of Kenya, and all of us are free to talk about the people of Mount Kenya. So you don't create a local colony, and you sit in State House, and you think you can colonize people. Those people are free. People of Mount Kenya are free, and I congratulate them. So I'm sure Sagana meeting is going to be a miserable flop.
Let's listen to Dr. Chris Omolo here, because again, you've been around for a couple of elections. What is the significance of this meeting, knowing too well that yes, in as much as what he says, Honorable Sossion, and what Honorable Mori is saying here, President Kenyatta, his backyard is that particular region, the Mount Kenya region. This is a region that in 2017 voted almost to a man for the Jubilee Party, and the president is still leading that party. What significance do you see in this Sagana meeting?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sam. The president is worried. The president is naked. The president has realized the Mount Kenya people are not with him. If anything is to go by, look at the results of Kiambaa. Look at the results of Juja. The president was defeated badly. And the president's days in State House are numbered. He's just realized these are like the last kicks of the dying giant. And the president is seeing that for all that time, he has not been alone. And it's very, very unfortunate, because the president is the head of state, is the symbol of national unity. And for you to reduce yourself to meet specific people from a certain region. In fact, the people of Western region, since Sagana 2, they were asking, when are we having the meeting of the Western people? The coast have been asking. But because the president's days are numbered in State House, he's trying to see whatever little he can be able to rejuvenate. But the unfortunate thing is, when you look at Mount Kenya, and going as per the latest opinion surveys, the deputy president has 70%. The latest opinion poll that we saw.
By
the president
who did the opinion poll?
I saw it in the newspapers.
No, I'm not
so in terms of objectivity,
who did it?
You can go and question the sampling framework or whatever it is. You go and ask the people who developed that research. But from what I saw in the research, because I looked at that research, and it showed that the president, the deputy president, was leading in Mount Kenya by 70%. And if it's anything to go by, the deputy president also won the Juja seat and the Kiambaa seat. So we can't run away from the truth. The deputy president is the leading presidential candidate as far as the Mount Kenya region is concerned, and the president is worried. So he's trying to see, what can I touch on here and there, because my days in State House are numbered, to be able to add value maybe to his project, Raila Amolo Odinga. I've seen many people saying that Raila Amolo Odinga is not a project. He's a project, and I want to give the definition of a project, okay? President Mwai Kibaki, when he left power, listen, President Mwai Kibaki, when he left power, we didn't see him making a decision or being skewed that saying, I'm going to support so and so. But the moment the sitting president wants to succeed himself and wants to show direction or skewed support on a specific candidate using state resources, that becomes a government project. And Raila Odinga is no longer people's presidential project. He is a project of the state because he's being supported by the president. The state resources are being skewed in his favor.
Oh, exactly.
We've seen cabinet secretaries coming out, talking in support of him. Those are government resources. These are government projects. We've seen the president. We've seen after the handshake, we've seen goodies.
Dr. Chris, just a question here. Is there anything...
Using government cars, living in a government house...
just hold on, I'll give you an opportunity and I'll give another one.
Resource?
There's a question here. Is there anything illegal or unconstitutional on the president to express himself on who he would wish to succeed him?
Yes, it is wrong.
How?
It is wrong because as the head of state, with the powers that you have, you are likely to influence other people to work under duress to suit what you want.
No, I'm asking,
you think the president has no influence?
No. I didn't say it's in illegality, in morally. And I'm trying to justify how the president's direction can affect other people in government. Because he's the boss, he's the head of the state, and we've seen even Matiang'i coming out clearly. So that's why there's that skewness. So the president should have not come out to be like a Kibaki president for the Kenyans to decide.
It is an important question, and there are different people who've said that just because Kibaki made his choices doesn't mean that Uhuru Kenyatta has to choose the same. But when you say that state resources are being utilized, how do you differentiate between a public or a state officer versus real resources? Because using state resources is actually against the law to campaign.
Absolutely. So but we've seen, you live in this case. You know the stranger in Jerusalem. We've seen cabinet secretaries, particularly the head of CS Interior, CS ICT, have coming out clearly. And you've seen Kenyans coming out to protest that the cabinet secretaries should not be used in politics. And the moment the head of state shows some bias towards a certain person, it goes without saying that he'll affect all the government officers in whatever ranks and file they're in to suit what he wants. So that's why we have said, you'll be given the opportunity, Mauka More. This is debate. Yeah. We are in debate, and I respect you very much, okay? So the issue here is this. The head of state, for him to have remained with that respect, he should have not come out to say, I'm going to support so and so. And going on to Sagana 3, the agenda of Sagana 3 is to come and portray the deputy president in a negative way. And this can bring the animosity, because he's only meeting people from his specific region, which is tribal. And NCIC, I'm calling upon Reverend Kobia to be on top of things. Because it's a tribal grouping that is likely to advance an agenda which is dangerous to the unity of this country.
I hear you. I mean,
I think this issue of resources.
Mboy, I'll come back to you. But
no, it's about the issue project. It's the issue project. If you allow it to overlap with that, we might talk more civilized thing, and then we don't go back to that.
Okay, quickly.
The issue he is raising, in the same story, he's contradicting himself absolutely. He says how the president is going to be ignored, how he is not in charge. Then all of a sudden he starts saying, oh, he can influence things. In every one of their rallies, the issue or the target has actually been the president. So they don't want him at all to defend himself. They want him just to lie low. Then when they talk about project, whatever they are calling project of the state, of government resources, if you look at the residents in Karen, if you look at the vehicles the deputy president uses, if you look at the security, if you look at everything, that is a state project. It is actually deputy president who is a state project or a government project, not Raila Odinga.
Let me explain the context.
Honorable Mboy hasn't spoken since he came here, and he came quite early. What do you make of this? Because in this country, it is within the right of every Kenyan to associate the way they want, to mobilize, to assemble, to express themselves in a manner that they deem fit. So what is the place of such a regional meeting being chaired or being led by the president who comes from that region?
Yeah, thank you, Sam. Sam, first and foremost, I would like to say that we have to be fair to the president, because the president is also a citizen of this country. He's fairly young, because even after he leaves office, he's going to be around for a very long time. And we expect him to also be able to assist to build the nation even beyond his term. It doesn't mean that when you serve as president after 5, 10 years, that's the end of your life in that country. And we also have to stop being pretentious. Honorable Omalo here has been to State House several times with a group of leaders from Western Kenya. And suddenly when the president is meeting leaders from central Kenya, it's an issue. I mean, we cannot have double standards. Let's be fair on the president. He has also met leaders from Lower Eastern. I've been to State House as a leader from Lower Eastern, not just as a national leader. So I know that once in a while, because Kenya is balkanized in that manner, that he once in a while wants to talk to people and listen to issues coming from their region. And the fact that he comes from central Kenya, I would expect him to actually meet those people even more. Because politically, everybody has to have a base, and his base is central Kenya. Now, you know, those who are taking lightly his talks in Sagana will be in for a rude shock, because you can only ignore these at your own peril. The president has a huge influence in that region. And the fact is that, you know, politics is a game of numbers. And the Mount Kenya region has the largest block of political votes in this country. And I'll tell you some of the mistakes Kenya Kwanza have made. Maybe I'll advise them. That just the other day, some of our members of One Kenya Alliance, ANC and Ford Kenya, we know we were close, very close, tight-knit team with Chris Omalo and his Ford Kenya and ANC. They left One Kenya Alliance and joined Kenya Kwanza together with UDA. Now, if you go back a little bit, you realize that Central Kenya has had a lot of political leaders that have political parties. And at one time, all of them wanted to work with the UDA. But they were told you have to close your parties and join UDA, that we are not going to work in a coalition arrangement. Suddenly, when Ford Kenya from Western and ANC from Western joins with UDA, they form a coalition called Kenya Kwanza. Obviously, the people of the mountain must be asking questions. And I've seen the posters circulate all over social media when they have functions. And you see the photo of William Samoei Ruto. You see the photo of, you know, ANC party leader, Musalia Mudavadi. And you see the Ford Kenya party leader. You don't see any of those political leaders from Central Kenya who have been backing this team for the longest time. So I think maybe that's the reason they are jittery, because I know the president is going to call out some of these blunders, and he's going to tell these people that we need to organize ourselves, and we need now to make sure that our votes count for something. I love what Moses Kuria said. Moses Kuria, when he came back from hospital, he said that we have votes, and we have a large block of votes. We cannot be taken lightly. We cannot be taken for granted. People must tell us what is in it for us. And I think that's what the president might be wanting to discuss, and that's why they're jittery.
Dr. Chris Omalo, there's something you said about the opinion polls and 70% backing for Ruto in Mount Kenya. Which research is that?
I saw it in one of the leading papers, which I read, and it showed that that William Ruto was leading by 47% and Raila Odinga was somewhere 30%. So when you go further, there was a comprehensive representation or performance in the respective regions. So when you go to that paper, it was actually a headline. It showed that Deputy President was leading in Central Kenya by 70%. Maybe I'll refer you to that paper. But now, correcting my brother here, Honorable Mbui, whom I respect so much, it is very long, it's very misleading for you to come out and say that under Kenya Kwanza, we've only been seeing the Deputy President, Weta, and Mudavadi. No, no, it's clear we've seen Gachagua Rigathi, Alice Wahome, Professor Kindiki Kidure. All these lights have been there. Are they from Western or they're from Mount Kenya region?
About the stage you have, has the...
No, it is wrong, because I've been there. He has not been there. Maybe he's colorblind. We've been there. No, that is very wrong. That is very wrong. It is a biased analysis.
How many?
It's biased analysis.
Okay.
We have Gachagua, Rigathi Gachagua has been there.
Let's focus.
Alice Wahome, Professor Kindiki Kidure. Their names have been there, and these are leaders from Central Kenya, not from Rift Valley.
That's fine, Dr. Chris Omalo. Let's focus on the more substantive issue here. Just hold on. I want to get back to Honorable Maore. You disputed the statistics he was giving here about...
Yes, because I think what...
Just wait for the question.
Oh, sorry.
But then again, you say that part of the agenda will be to see how to get rid of the confusion that has been created by the Deputy President in that region, you're actually calling it an insurgency.
Yeah.
If it was not so serious, why would you even have a meeting?
No, I haven't said it is not serious. What I said is that what Honorable Wamalwa is quoting is not supposed to be quoted on a serious media house. Because if you are talking of Infotrack, for example, you would say Infotrack, not a newspaper. A newspaper, you can go and do anything with a newspaper, and he knows it. So,
Dr. Chris, let's leave out the false question because it's pretty controversial for now.
What happened is that within that time, the group, if you have heard what Peter Kenyatta has explained there, the group that has been going to Central, when they go there, they say how they work with the president. Every time they went even to churches, they never went and did any serious work where you can say somebody has gone to work. Then in the process of that familiarity, they bribed churches, a lot of church leaders, to keep on mentioning and preaching about them.
To bribe.
So the insurgency that came in.
What do you mean?
That is very wrong.
No,
meaning the church
you have seen even 8 million being carried here in a church in Nairobi. Or the Catholic church leader was bought a V8 and it was returned. Are you living in the same country?
No, you use the word bribe.
Yes, it's bribery. It's bribing.
For what? In exchange of what?
For support. To keep on mentioning them for as many times as possible. We had a similar incident in Maua on this past Sunday. Whereby previously...
No.
How do you know this?
No, see, I'm telling you the truth.
Because those are church services. People attend church services.
Anyway,
because you say.
Let me respond to the issue about the opinion poll. I'm saying within that period, the lies and the confusion planted, especially with leaders who do not have experience. You cannot tell me all the people he has mentioned have the same experience as Mundavadi, who came to parliament in 1989. Wetangula came in 1992. That is nearly 30-something years of experience. Then you want to collect our minions and then tell them, these are your leaders. When Mount Kenya leaders sit down.
I think some you are losing it.
Members of parliament.
What experience? No, I'm talking of it. I'm not saying they are not members.
I'm must guide
leaders. I'm saying when you compare Mundavadi with the people he has mentioned, the four of them, are they the same weight?
So who do you want the
So when Mundavadi shows up on the table, no, I'm saying he has been allergic to Mount Kenya leaders with experience.
Who are these?
Just name any with experience. Not the ones he rigged out in 2007. 2017.
Let me ask you this. So after Sagana 3,
yes,
what next?
No, after Sagana 3, I assure you, it is going to be a move that they will pretend to come back and just running around looking like it is their territory. Like now when we are doing the Sagana 3, for 5 days they have been around there, including the previous, just to pretend to count and make it look as if it's their stronghold. After we do it, you will see those attempts. Just watch the experience thereafter.
And yourself as Jubilee, what will you do?
See, I'm telling you...
you're telling me what they will do. You're not telling me about what Jubilee will do.
No. The Jubilee story, it takes shape on Friday and Saturday.
At the NDCs?
Yes. When we take a resolution, now that we are getting leaders on Jubilee, and then we are moving into Azimio, that would be a different style.
Okay. Quickly, so that we take a break, Honorable Session.
No, I think it's good. Let's speak the truth at all times as elected leaders and responsible Kenyans. If you look at the support from Mount Kenya, we even saw the other day, Nyeri Speaker and the Deputy Speaker and 25 MCAs out of 30 crossing over to Kenya Kwanza. That's a significant number. And those members of the county assembly are representatives of the people. When we conduct elections, members of county assembly are elected, members of parliament are elected, they become representatives of the people. And when you look at Kenya Kwanza, the team from Mount Kenya, the members of parliament within Kenya Kwanza are close to 70. It's a very significant number, yes.
From what region?
Yeah, from Mount Kenya.
About MPs and MCAs combined?
No, members of parliament alone in Kenya Kwanza, they're about 70. Not
70.
Yes.
The entire team is not is barely 55.
Yes.
We'll fact check.
No, that's a fact. Yeah. So the significant number of the members of parliament of Mount Kenya are in Kenya Kwanza. That's a fact, and it can be cross-checked. Some. That's a fact for sure. And if Sagana meeting, according to the president and according to my colleague here, is to remove confusion caused by the DP. To remove confusion.
Yes.
What is this confusion? And the rest of us, we've not seen. If the members of parliament, members of MCA are rallying behind the deputy president, does that qualify to be called confusion? Number 3, I think Reverend Kobia should be called out, should call out on the president. Nobody is an exception in this country. We have a constitution that gives, of course, this is ethnic mobilization, and it's against national cohesion and integration.
Wait a minute, Honorable Sossion.
Yes.
Do the people of the 10 counties in Mount Kenya have a right to assemble?
Yeah, they do. They do have. All Kenyans have a right to assemble, but not under ethnic flags.
When you say it's ethnic, I mean,
yes.
You have community.
Why did we form national cohesion and integration? Because we are fighting ethnicity.
That's
in
what
this
I'm asking.
Country.
Because leaders are allowed to associate, or Kenyans are allowed to associate. What is ethnic?
But not to incite. Already they've said the deputy president is causing confusion and we are going to deal with him at Sagana. That is incitement. It's ethnic incitement. It's nothing short of that. It is.
You know, I'm struggling to understand, and forgive me for this. What is ethnic incitement in a Sagana meeting?
When Mao Kamaore here, and he has said it in the national television, we are going to deal with the confusion and incitement that has been caused by the DP. You know, when you talk of incitement, you must quote a specific incident. Yes. Because incitement is a criminal action. That constitutes ethnic mobilization. That's the truth. There is no other definition about it. So let us not pretend that, of course, because we have got freedom to assemble, and you're talking and you're telling us that the agenda will be discussing one individual who is a Kenyan. But that fundamentally is wrong.
Don't panic, you'll be exposed to that.
No. You said it, and Kenyans have heard it. And that's why I've said Kobia should call on the president to restrain himself as the head of state from engaging in activities that are likely to cause ethnic tension. But in any case, this will not work because people of Mount Kenya have taken their own decision. Now, my colleague here is saying for the last 8 years, the deputy president has been causing confusion. The head of government is the president. And I think it is the opposite. It is the president who has been deliberately causing confusion by fighting individuals in government and within the country who don't agree with him. That's a fact for sure. And if I may ask, cabinet meetings are supposed to be held frequently to take government decision. And it's on record that the last time a cabinet meeting was held on 18th of February 2021.
And the DP
has the president convened a cabinet meeting?
And the DP attended?
And the DP boycott? Yes, the DP attended. If you are the deputy president, that's a fact for sure. Okay. If you are the deputy president and the president does not convene cabinet meetings to conduct state affairs, how are you expected to behave?
Okay.
So right. Really, these are very fundamental. And I would say the president has acted unconstitutionally and deliberately to sabotage. You see, if you don't convene cabinet meetings, then what business do you have?
Honorable Sossion, let's take a break. And I want to say something. You said here that 70 members of parliament are on the side of the deputy president. And I've looked at the figures.
70%. He made 70%.
No. Yes, I said 70%.
He said 70%.
Okay.
No, he said 70%.
Just listen, because I heard it.
How many are you remaining in
Just hold on.
Because these numbers are known.
Honorable Sossion, we know how many constituencies there are in 10.
70%.
64 constituencies.
Yes. In Mount Kenya?
Yes.
Do you have an accurate figure?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm
So
talking about
70%
Murang'a,
comes
Kiambu,
to
Nyeri, Nyandarua, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, Nakuru, Laikipia, Kirinyaga, Embu. And that is to say, if you're taking Laikipia and Nakuru to be part of the Mount Kenya region. So you have 64 constituencies.
Yes.
You have 10 women representatives, that takes you to 74. And you have 10 senators, that takes you to 84. So
Yes.
I don't know which 70 members of
Out of those 84, 70%
we can do that.
are with Kenya Kwanza.
We can do
70% are with Kenya Kwanza.
All right. We'll
That's a fact for
when
sure.
we come back, we'll be speaking about
But you can do a cross-check.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
The question of public debt that is causing a lot of political hate is becoming a campaign issue alongside all these other personality questions. We talk about that after the break.